Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm the Southern Yankee Stitcher. Welcome to my Flosstube number 11. Y'all, this is take 3. You can take off these glasses. I've been wearing the first 2 takes. The glare on them is driving me nuts. Just recorded the whole thing and it gave me an error right at the end. I was doing the giveaways and it froze and it wouldn't save any of it. The first time I forgot something, had to go get it, and then it was just a big mess up. If I try and join 2 videos together, it takes forever to upload. So I'm doing this again. I'm glad you all are here with me this week. I normally try and record on the Sunday or Monday, but it's been a busy week. And I had my birthday this week, and I wanted some stitching to show you. I don't have a lot to show you today because I've been doing so much secret stitching. I'm trying to stitch a lot of Christmas presents, and my goal is to have all that done before Thanksgiving, because after Thanksgiving hits, man, I mean, you're just fast forward to Christmas. You'll be there in no time. So, so that's what I'm trying to do. My youngest daughter is the only child that lives at home right now, and she goes to college and she works at a restaurant in the evenings. She's not hardly ever home, so I can stitch pretty much anytime I want and not have to worry about hiding anything. I've even stitched right out in the open. She's been sitting in the living room talking to me, and she has no idea what I'm working on. I kind of hide it, and I have some dummy charts to put on top in case she asks. They never ask what I'm doing. They don't care what I'm doing. My oldest daughter is getting ready to move back in this weekend. She and my youngest daughter want to get a 2-bedroom apartment together. My oldest is in a 1-bedroom, and her lease is running out. So she's putting everything in storage and coming back home for maybe a couple months. I'm not sure. So when a 2-bedroom opens up and they can move in together. So that may cut my stitching time severely. So that's why I'm in a push right now to get a lot of stitching done. I have just a little bit to show you. I have one whip to show you this week. Like I said, it was busy. And today's Wednesday. Monday, I normally try and record Monday or Sunday or Monday. Monday was my birthday, and it was a good birthday. The numbers, I don't care so much about the numbers anymore. I got a dozen roses from my husband. That was a nice surprise at work. And I got a plant from ladies at work too. And my husband has sent me a lot of flowers over the 30 years we've been married. That's something he likes to do, is sunflowers, and I love flowers, so yeah, that works well. When he was a kid, he worked for a local flower shop here, and it was 2 sisters that ran the shop, and he was working there. I mean, he was like 10, 11, 12, something like that. One of his first jobs um, was illegal. There's 2-hour parking on Main Street in front of the flower shop. Well, the owners wanted to park their car in front of the flower shop. And if you've ever worked in a town where they have 2-hour parking, especially years ago, the meter maid would come around with chalk and she would mark the tire. She put a line down your tire and onto the road. Then she'd come back again 2 hours later, and if that line was still there, meant you hadn't moved, and you get a parking ticket. Well, one of his first jobs was to go out and wash the chalk off the tire of the road. But then when he got old enough where he could deliver flowers and he could drive and everything, he said he loved seeing the expressions on everybody's face when they got flowers. It made everybody happy. So that's why he loves the sunflowers now. Those 2 sisters he worked for, he thought so much of them, and they thought a lot of him. And I mean, they would take him to the country. They owned property down the country, and they'd go fishing in the pond there, or they'd I think he did some hunting maybe down there too, and just I don't know. They kind of adopted him somewhat. They thought a lot of him, so that's why I get flowers a lot. That's good. Then for my birthday, we went out to dinner. My husband, children, and it includes my daughter-in-law, and we went and got some Italian, and it was good. The company was good. The conversation was good. That's all the things you want. I didn't want any cake. I'm not a big cake eater, and I really don't like sweet icing. So I told him I didn't want a cake. So instead, my daughter went and got ice cream. We had an ice cream party when we got back, but we were all so full from eating pasta, we couldn't hardly eat any ice cream. But we did have a good time. So I'm going to get right into the whips in case this computer does something crazy again and locks up on me again. Oh, my goodness. The only whip I can show you, current whip I can show you. I have some real old ones. I'm going to share. Some old whips and some old finishes. I tell you what, before I do this, let me mention a couple things first. In my last video, I showed a haul, and the haul included things I got from a thrift store. And one of the things was a glass flower frog. One of our winners last week, Patty, sent me an email with her address, and she mentioned that she uses the flower frogs to hold scissors. And she sent me a picture, and in the picture she had these beautiful like sunflowers made out of, looked like it was either hooked or punch needle in the middle, and then wool petals around the outside. There was 2 of those like sitting on this desk or table, and then the glass flower frog sat down in like a terracotta pot. So when you put long scissors in there, the scissors would go down through the hole, and the blades would be in the pot. It was really cute. I'm definitely going to do that, Patty. Thank you for that suggestion. And I wish I'd asked you if I could share that picture of your whole setup there. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful things in her home. The other thing was about the floss drops. Vistaprint. You all screamed at me, Vistaprint. Mama loves you, GB. You know, I'm late to this floss drop thing. I missed that somehow. And but I got my picture ready that I wanted to use, and went to Vistaprint and designed my cards. I had trouble trying to figure out how to put the wording on the back of the card because I only had a full color option. You could do full color front. Anyway, so I had to get like the kind of instant messenger help you get where you're messaging the person, and then they can get in there and make changes or tell you what to do. And this guy was so helpful. I put the words in that I wanted, and he designed the whole thing and kind of changed it around a little bit. And it wasn't how I had it, but I think I liked it better. I think they had a lot of false drop orders, is what I think, because he knew exactly what he was doing, that's for sure. The other thing was Niecy Lynn commented. I told her, I tagged her on Instagram, told her she needed to watch my video because of the Noah's Ark things in there. And she wanted to know what issue of the Spirit of Christmas this was, or what volume is a better word. And this was a book I showed last week, and I'll just show you again real quick in case anybody didn't see it. This is the book, Niecy Lynn. It's book 8. And for any of you that didn't see, what I showed her was these Noah's Ark animals. I thought were so cute. Oh my goodness. Look, there's Noah with the animals. Look how their little jointed legs are held with buttons. Is that not cute? And then they show a whole Christmas tree full of them. And the book is very simple. It has just the patterns in there like that. And you just, make a copy and cut it out. There's your pattern. Sorry, look, my husband pulled out. He went somewhere. He must have heard me talking and recording, so he didn't bother me. So, book 8, Niecy Lynn. Okay. So my only whip that I worked on this week that I can show you is the Rocky Springs Schoolhouse. And yes, I'm showing you the chart, but I made this chart, and that's so tiny. I told you before. I mean, I don't have a picture I printed with that. That if you can read that chart, it's so tiny. Feel free. More power to you. More power to you. This is a schoolhouse that is in my hometown in Frederick, Maryland. My grandparents and great grandparents attended there, along with many other family members. It was a one-room schoolhouse from 1839 to 1930. In 1930, the church next door bought it and used it like a social hall. So a lot of things, and my family attended that church. My great grandparents did and grandparents did, and then they kind of switched over. There's another church they went to that they kind of went to both sometimes, and I went there to the second one they went to. There's something else I was going to say about that. Oh, I went back to Maryland. After my mother moved here, I didn't go back and just visit my sisters. They always came here to see my mom. So that made it easier for me not to have to travel on holidays like I normally did, because I always used to go back to Maryland on a holiday if I was off work, long weekend or anything. But last time I was back in Maryland, was May of 2019. Went for my niece's wedding, and we went to the schoolhouse, and they're doing restoration on it now, and the church beside it is part of the same foundation. The same foundation owns them both, and the lady who runs the foundation lives in a beautiful Victorian across the street. And when we stopped and were walking around, she saw us. She was on the front porch, and she came over, and I introduced myself, and we had been emailing each other. I'd sent her pictures and things I had for my grandmother, and we were sharing a lot of information. And she's like, "Oh, here, Olivia, it's nice to meet you finally." And she opened up the church for us, and everything. Let us go through and see it all. Kind of gave us a little private tour. It was very nice for her to do that. In the church, she showed us things they had in storage waiting to go in the schoolhouse. It was a lot of antique antique schoolhouse items, real old desks, and some of them were the kind of desks where you had a desk and then a like bench in the front to flip down, and they kind of went in line, so you're sitting on the desk behind you and working on the desk in front of you. We used to have one of those. My mom had one of those. I think one of my sisters has it now, probably. But a gentleman from New York contacted them, and he was an elderly gentleman, and I believe she told me he had been a teacher. I'm not positive about that, but he had a large collection of schoolhouse items, large like in a warehouse large, and he brought several styles of desks to donate to the schoolhouse for when they open. So they're collecting things, and it's going to be a great museum when they have it done. And like I said, it's a lot of family history here for me, which is why I wanted to stitch it. I mean, if I'm going to stitch a sampler, there's so many like little schoolhouse samplers. Why not do a schoolhouse that, is personal to me? So anyway, this is how far I've gotten. I did about 2.5 rows of letters, and then I brought that border on down a little further. I'm just going to keep working my way down the pattern. I've done this top section here, and I'll just, keep working my way right on down. I can't wait till I get to the schoolhouse. I'm excited about that. This is 18 count Aida that it was sage, and then I over dyed it with Rit dye, and it was a combination of dark green, Kelly green, and apple green. So it has a little modeling in there, and it darkened it up a little bit. I dyed it twice. It didn't quite get as dark as I wanted, but it's okay because I think it looks like it's a little washed out on here. I don't know how to get it to the right color. But it looks like a chalkboard that's had a lot of chalk erased on it. That's what it looks like, and that's good with me. It's a little small, even though it's Aida. I mean, I can do it, but it's a little small. It's like I need a smaller needle, and I'm using, I think, the smallest one I have, but I might have to check into that, get a smaller needle. Okay, so now I'm going to get into some old stitching, really old stitching. Things that, where it all began, I'll say. I know I've mentioned this before, and I apologize for repeating myself, but I I feel like I have to tell a little bit for people that maybe haven't watched all my videos or remember everything I've said. When I was very young, like elementary school, I did embroidery. And I'm one of 6 children. I'm next to the youngest. My sister younger than me is 5 years younger, and the one next to me, but older, is 5 years older. So we were all spaced apart. Whatever the older one did, I wanted to do. We were closer in age because then next came a brother, and then it was a bigger leap to my other sisters. And so I'm pretty sure she was doing embroidery first, and then taught me. She taught me a lot. She's really was a natural born teacher. And when it came to um, baking and cooking and doing crafts, she taught me a lot. My mom taught me a lot too. They both did. And then my mother would take classes sometimes. I think she would go to the extension office and do some things. She may have gone to the craft store and taken a class. She was also part of, it was called the Gamble Park Homemakers Association. I don't know if it still exists, but she was a member of that for years and was a president for many years and arranged for people to come and talk and teach things and at their meetings. She did a lot, and she would then bring things home. Well, she went and took a cross stitch class somewhere. I don't remember where. Brought home 2 kits for the sister older than me and for me. My younger sister was too young at this point. In my mom's things, she gave me like all her craft things. She said, "You do more crafts than anybody else, so I'm gonna give those to you." Well, I didn't go through them right away. I just put up some of them. I just put like in storage and went through later. These 2 were in there, and these are the 2 kits that my mom bought for me and my sister, where I learned to cross stitch. This was in there. This was mine. You can see that it was in a hoop for many years. It's dirty. It was probably in our attic in Maryland. It's moved with my mom. She lived in when she sold our home. She lived in 2 apartments in Maryland and then one here. This little chart's been around. It's been around. She saved all those things. So I stitched this in 1980. I would have been 12 years old. I'm telling my age now, aren't I? Just had a birthday too. I didn't finish it. I didn't do the back stitching, welcome friends, or put in a frame or anything. I don't think I want to finish it. I just kind of want to keep it the way it is, I think. But if you followed me on Instagram in August when we were doing the Common Threaded Stitcher, I didn't post every day. I started out every day, and then some things didn't apply to me, and I kind of fell off. But the oldest whip, I posted this. You may have saw it there. If you all have a whip that's older than 1980, I want to see it. I want to see it. You tell me about it. You post on Instagram, tag me in it. I want to see it. I want to see it. About that time, I did a lot of crafts. I was a quiet kid, and I didn't mind playing by myself. I remember going to my room and just making things. I'd see things done and decide, I want to try and make that. And I like that I was that way because I think it helped me be a more creative person. I remember making these dolls that everybody thought were disgusting. They were apple head dolls or apple core dolls or something. I don't know what they call them, but what you did for the head, you peeled an apple and carved a face in it. Then over time it would shrink and wrinkle up, and it would look like an old person. So I made that doll, and I think I used wire for the body, like maybe from a clothes hanger. And I made an old woman in a dress and an old man in overalls. And I sewed the clothes and everything. They were just kind of rag bodies, rag doll bodies with this head. I'm sure they were kind of creepy. But they didn't like get moldy or disgusting. It just kind of shriveled and dried up. Kind of like if you've ever made pomander balls, where you put the cloves in the oranges. The cloves help just dry them out. They'll be like hollow inside. They won't rotten like orange that would just sit in a bowl or on a counter forever might rot. And this apple was the same way. I don't think you had to put anything on the apple. I can't remember because it was a long time ago. But I remember making those, and I also made cross-stitch things for my dollhouse. And I did little pillows and I did little rugs and things like that for the dollhouse. Well, one year my mom was going to a craft show. She had made these Christmas ornaments out of lace that you starch and dry into shapes, like you wrap it around a styrofoam form. And she made Christmas balls, bells, and some fans, I think. And then you embellish them with ribbon and, silk flowers and beads and things. And one of her friends was going to a craft show. Her friend and her friend's daughter quilted a lot, and they made these quilted placemats and chair pads. I remember those very well. And so my mother was making ornaments, and she told me, "Why don't you make something to sell?" So I decided to make little pillows for the dollhouse and rugs and sell them at the craft fair. In the box of things, I found the unsold pillows. These are the little pillows that I made back in 1980, 81, something like that. Those are the rejects that didn't get sold. This one has just been stitched, not even sewn. I don't know what that is. Please go away. Sorry. I better hurry up unless I lose this thing again. So I don't know. I sold these little pillows for maybe a quarter or 50 cents, but they were cheap. And this is the basket that I sold them in. It was mounted up. It was full. My mom had cough drops in this basket in her apartment. And I told her one day, I said, "That basket's mine. I want that," because I remember selling the little pillows out of that. She said, "Oh, I remember that too." She didn't tell me she had the little pillows. So that was kind of neat to find that. Um, the rugs I made, they kind of look like Oriental rugs in that pattern. This was one that wasn't finished. It's pretty plain compared to some of the others I made. And I would put trim on the edges, um, where there, would be fringe for in the dollhouse. And then I made this for myself. I never finished it, and it's got dirt on it and stuff. It looks bad. But this was I had a little brass bed for in the dollhouse. And I made it, this was the beginnings of a quilt I was making. And I made the pattern and everything, and there's some errors in there. But, I mean, I did that from scratch. I was pretty proud of that. I liked how that turned out. I don't know if I maybe wanted to hang it on the end of the bed. I'm not sure why I did it facing each other that way. Anyway, I'm so afraid this computer's going to stop again. So those are my oldest whips. That have not been finished. I guess some of the pillows have been finished. But that's where my cross stitching began. Really was making these for my dollhouse. This is a piece that I stitched in the late 80s. And the frame is terrible. It's terrible, y'all. And I've had this in storage in my shed, not climate controlled or anything. And I could see a little bit of discoloration, a couple spots on it. I don't know if I should wash it or not. But I had stitched this first, and then later I bought when I first got married, bought a comforter and the whole curtains and the bed skirt and everything from JCPenney's, and it had this color blue and white kind of squiggles on like the main part of the curtains, but the rest of it and the whole comforter were big cabbage roses, kind of Laura Ashley looking. That's what it was. It had some eyelet trim. I love that set. I had everything for the bedroom. It was if they made an accessory in that pattern at JCPenney's, I had it. And so this matched it perfectly and hung in our bedroom for many years. And the comforter really just got so thin we just couldn't use it anymore because I still loved it. I still loved it. I probably wouldn't have it now. I am going to take this out of the frame. It had brown paper on the back at one point. It's ripped off. But I think it's just on regular cardboard, and that's why I've got some spots on it. We didn't know anything about acid-free in the late 80s, early 90s. I didn't know anything about acid-free anyway. Oh, And I did. I even still have the chart. I couldn't find a date on here. I want to say like, hey Steph, of Just Keep Stitching. Look at this chart and find the date. She's always trying to do that for Pam. I found something that had an F/86. I'm thinking maybe it's for 86. It was that time frame anyway. I have the chart and I have the leftover floss even. So I guess if I take it apart, some stitches come out, I can always put it back in. I can do that. The next prior finish is another oldie. I did this in late 1990, early 1991 because I was pregnant with my first child. And this is it. The frame is terrible. This fake looking wood stuff, I don't know why I picked that out, but I'm sure I did. I guess that was the thing. Daisy K Primitives made a comment in her last video about she was showing some older pieces, and she said when our colors in our home were the country blue and mauve and pink, mauve and peach. Well, they were my colors when I got married. They were my colors. Is what I told everybody. I didn't officially register. We had a small wedding, but I told everyone they were my colors. That's why I get towels and everything in that. I'm probably going to reframe this just because it doesn't look pulled real tight. My stitching looks pretty good on it now. I did a pretty good job. I just don't think I see a couple of wrinkles here, and I just want to put it in something that's acid-free. Change that frame or paint the frame, maybe. And I found that kit, too. And it is dated 1986. But I stitched it in 91. And it does say it's DMC floss. So I could wash this one. The other one, I don't think it said. I'll have to look at it. See if it says what kind of floss. Make sure it's color fast. Okay. Well, on my last video, I did the random comment generator. This was my random comment generator. I came home today and I said, I am making this video no matter what. So I went through and I wrote everybody's name who made the comments. I drew live on my last video, the one that has disappeared. I don't want to put those names back and, say they didn't win. So you're all just going to have to trust me on it. Then I drew the winners. I have 2 jars here. This one was Raven. We had a lot more Ravens than we did buttons. So I had these here in my crafter. I emptied some things out of them. I'm not sure what I'm going to put back in those. So the first winner of Lizzie Kate Snippet Nevermore, you had to say the word Raven. You're also going to get the floss that you need with it. That winner is Tammy Ironman. Tammy Ironman. You are the winner. Tammy, my floss drops are supposed to come in Friday. If you will email me at southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com, then when those floss drops come in, I will put this in the mail to you and send you some floss drops. So you don't have to tell me you want some. I'm just going to send them to you anyway. If anyone else wants some, email me your address at southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com. I will have it in the description below. It's Monday night. If I get this uploaded tonight, I probably won't get the description done until tomorrow because if this thing takes as long as it did last week, it won't be uploaded till midnight. Anyway, the second giveaway was Homespun Elegance Button Heart Sampler. This is the one that I stitched and I made it patriotic. So I'm including the patriotic colors in case you want to use it for that. If not, you can use these for something else. These are the variegated DMV. Where did that come from? DMC. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And the winner, let me put these back in here. I don't want to lose this. The winner of this one is, When I wrote this name, I was really afraid I'm going to mispronounce the name if I draw this name, and sure enough, it's who I drew. Susan Lopiano. Susan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but you were the winner of the Button Heart Sampler. Send me your address, and I will put that in the mail to you. It might not be till next week, so I can send you the floss drops. Okay, this week we have 2 more giveaways. I love doing this, y'all. It's like Christmas, giving away presents. I love it. And the first giveaway is Heart and Hand Blessings, and it has a tall, skinny pumpkin on there. It says "Count Your Blessings." Also, right up here, that's a little crow button, and the button is included. And I have to show the chart. Did I show the chart? I showed you the button. Y'all don't copy that. I didn't mean to do that if I did. The 4 DMCs that go with it. Now there is one DMC color listed on here. I get my only local place to buy DMC. Well, Walmart has very little. Is Hobby Lobby, and there's a DMC 268. It's called for. They didn't even have a slot for 268. Has DMC retired colors? I don't know. Is DMC 268, Anchor 937, and Week Sky Works Dry Time. Well, the only thing that you use that color for is this little squiggly on the top of the little squiggly vine on top of the pumpkin. So whoever wins this, you're either going to have to make that little squiggly vine out of one of these 4 colors or use something in your stash. Because I could not get to a store that carried weeks, and it's like that DMC color didn't exist. I don't know. It's kind of weird. The next chart giveaway is another Lizzie Kate snippet called Hocus Pocus. We're about to get beyond the season, but I wanted to get in that last one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It comes with all the DMC flosses. It's 8 different colors are in this chart. Okay, that's the second giveaway. If you were interested in this one with the floss, comment, subscribe and comment, and like, and comment the word blessings. And y'all, if you misspell something, I haven't figured out the random comment generator. I don't think I will by next week, so you're covered. The first giveaway, I know I did jack-o'-lantern, and people would spell it a couple different ways in their comment. I didn't even think about that. But you were covered no matter how you spelled it. So for this one, if you're interested in this one with the floss, just say Hocus Pocus. So either blessings or Hocus Pocus in your comment. There's one thing that I got for my birthday that I forgot to share with y'all, and I want to share that with you now. I reached 300 subscribers on Monday. I've gone beyond that as of today. I don't know exactly where I am, but I was so surprised and happy about that. And I know probably a lot of that was because Chrissy of Finally a Farm Girl gave me a big shout out. She won my first giveaway. She and Patty, the lady with the sunflower picture, won my first giveaways. And I know a lot of you watch Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, and she really surprised me. When I heard my name, I looked up and I was in the middle of stitching and doing some other things, and I had to rewind because I kind of missed the first part. But I mean, she's a joy to watch. She's so easy to listen to and relaxing, and her giving me that shout out was just huge. It was a great birthday present. So thank you for that. I didn't mean that you had to do that because I sent you something. But I'm so happy that you did because I reached my goal. I'm going to tell you all, I haven't told my children and husband know that I've done this Flosstube. But other than that, no one else knows. I haven't told my family. I haven't told my friends, my coworkers, no one. Now, one person that lives in town is also on Flosstube, and she follows me and I follow her. She knows, but we're really just kind of acquaintances. We haven't met in person since we realized we were both stitchers. We're trying to work that out. But other than that, I don't think anybody in the community knows. And I kind of wanted it that way. Maybe in case it didn't work out, it wouldn't be embarrassing. But also, I wanted it, if it worked out, to be because it really was something somebody wanted to watch, not just they're watching because they're my friend, and really have no interest in stitching. So it was a great birthday present that 300 people liked it enough that they subscribed. And so I thank you all for that. It's just this, I've mentioned it's been a rough year with my mom's dementia advancing so fast the way it did, and having to make hard decisions with her care and her living arrangements, and it is just very hard, very hard. Any of you that have been through that know how hard it is. So my stitching is really just a relaxing thing. It's a happy thing for me. There's nothing sad or emotional really about my stitching. It's just a happy thing, and so this really it's a good creative outlet for me too. I can put work aside and family stuff aside, and just all the obligations that can be stressful, and just stitch. And I really love that. And Flosstube does the same thing for me. I can just relax, watch it on TV, and stitch and feel good. I hope that my videos will do the same for you all, that you can watch them and just feel good about it, maybe have some memories, stitching some teddy bears for your children's nurseries or something. We all have memories we like to bring up. So again, thank you for subscribing, and comment hocus pocus or blessings, and I will be back in a week, and I'm going to try real hard to have some stitching to show you. Okay, y'all have a great week. Bye.